Hello, and thank you for attending today's Roofers Coffee Shop webinar. We are honored to welcome the team from Trimble for today's webinar on how the younger generation is taking over the roofing business and how you and us and all of us can keep up. This team from Trimble, amazing group of software developers who have really made software, working the field, technology easy. So I know you're going to love this webinar today. But first, a few housekeeping items. All attendees will be muted, but feel free to ask questions or comment. Over on the right-hand side, you should see your webinar panel, and you'll see either questions or chat box. So, don't wait till the end. Just please type in any questions you may have, and then we will answer those at the end of the session. We'll have a Q&A. So I will be watching those, and we'll be recording them as we go through. Also, this webinar is being recorded and will be available online to view and for you to share with other people in your company or industry professionals. It's all part of the RCS On Demand, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more at the end of this webinar. We've got some exciting things coming on Roofers Coffee Shop. But first, today, let's get started. So, as I said, today we are talking about how the younger generation is taking over the roofing business and how you can all keep up. Our presenters today are pretty young themselves. We have Luke Binder, who is the customer success manager at Trimble. He's been with them. He's been working since July 2018, so just a little while, but has a long experience in construction and in technology. And one of the things we all love is he comes from a family in the trades, electrical business. So he understands, grew up in it. You really understand what it means to run a business, a small construction business. We also have Sylvia Zinn, the digital marketing manager. Sylvia also came from the trades. Her family owned a flooring contracting business and were tile, marble, paving. So she really understands, grew up in it also, much like I did with growing up in a construction family. But both the things that are great about Luke and Sylvia is they both are amazing at technology, have strong history with Trimble. In fact, Sylvia has been on this project from the very beginning, what you're going to see today, some of the new apps for construction. So a lot of exciting things. I want to welcome Luke and Sylvia. Welcome. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having us, Heidi.
Thanks. We're so excited to be here.
It's going to be great. In fact, just a little bit about today's webinar. Sylvia and Luke are going to be talking about how the younger generation, and we all are seeing this, are starting their own businesses. And they are using technology to really get a step ahead. They understand it, they grew up with it, and they're putting it out there. But that doesn't mean that companies, roofing companies, that maybe are a little bit older, like myself, can't keep up with that technology. And so we are going to really learn today how to use the apps out there that maybe you're using every day already, making it pretty easy for your business and keeping up with the young bucks that are coming up. So we're going to get started. And the first part is I'd love to have Sylvia. Can you tell us a little bit about Trimble? I worked with you guys in my past life when I was working in aerial imagery and measurement. It's an awesome company, but not too many people know about it. Can you tell us a little bit?
Of course. It's really funny. Trimble is one of those companies that kind of flies under the radar. We are a company that touches a lot of different industries, a lot of different products, and a lot of different services that impact different industries every single day. But most people don't fully know the name. We have been around since 1978, and we got our start by being a pioneer in GPS and location technology. Since that time, we've expanded our technology services into a number of different industries, including construction, agriculture, freight and logistics, government. And we really like to think of us as transforming the way the world works by delivering products and services that connect users every day. So I really like to look at us as really impacting people every day. Things, I mean, you use GPS every day. I believe every one of us does. That is a core belief and where we got our start, and we've really expanded from there. And now we're celebrating our 40-year anniversary this year. And one of our initiatives is really working to bring some of our technology and products and services to the smaller contractors and through simplified technology solutions, including the roofing industry. So we're excited to be here and show you some of our solutions and really work with this industry.
That is great. One of the things I love about working with you, Sylvia, is your team really has a passion for understanding the industry, understanding the small contractors. And in fact, I know you have a number of stats that are pretty impressive. Can you share those with us?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I can share stats with you all day long, but we only have a short period of time altogether, and we don't want to bore everyone. So let's just share a few highlights. I think, it's no secret that the construction industry as a whole lags in technology. Productivity, we lag in it. We aren't as efficient in everything that we do. This stat that's shown right here, 35% of construction professionals' time is spent on non-productive activities, including looking for project info, conflict resolution, dealing with mistakes. We all know this. We all experience this every day, whether it's driving from job site to job site, making phone calls, rummaging through a stack of papers. There is just a lack of efficiency, and it can cause some frustration. Related to that, 11% of contractors consider job sites to be more efficient. We can keep repeating this, but the reality is there's a lack of collaboration. There's a lack of productivity. This middle stat around the 31.3 billion in rework being caused by poor project data and miscommunication. This one really stands out to me. I just think of social media. We are able to connect with grade school colleagues and long lost relatives that we maybe don't even want to connect with all the time. And we can keep that communication going, but somehow we're not bringing it to this industry, and we're not bringing this technology to increase productivity in construction. And we can do better than that. And technology can improve productivity if you're not afraid of it. And it doesn't have to be scary.
That's perfect. I love these stats. I love all the research you do. And in fact, I know one of the things you've done is you've been reaching out to a number of contractors to really understand all the subtrades, but you've definitely been working a lot with the roofing contractors. Share a little bit about what you're seeing on that level.
What we're seeing is that, we're going to keep repeating this throughout the webinar, but, we need to increase in technology. The companies that really put technology on the forefront are going to become the leaders as we move on throughout the years. The younger generation is already using technology to advance business. I think back to my old days and just my childhood and always climbing into my dad's work truck, and it was just littered with papers. He was organized in his business, but it's hard to keep a level of organization when you have disorganization all around you. And that usually is stacks of paperwork, trying to, sort through job information, contact information, versus, one of my coworkers, he's actually in the construction industry, her husband is, and I saw his work truck recently, And it was so neat and so organized. And you know what? He loves technology. He loves little apps. He loves little tools. He's always on the search for something to help him do his job better. And that's really what is critical as we move forward and really want to embrace the next generation of roofing professionals and bring that skilled labor into this industry, is that we need to also embrace and incorporate these new technologies into roofing as a general. They will improve the effectiveness and the efficiency overall. One important piece here is technology helps you get to every single phase of your project faster. Gone are the days of sifting through a paper, and instead you can hop on your phone. We all have our phones in our pockets every day. You can hop on a phone and quickly look up a piece of information that you need. It can help you get an estimate done quicker. You could be sitting in front of a customer and talking through an estimate, and wouldn't it be amazing if you can send off that estimate as they're sitting right there, have them sign off, and move to the next phase of the project? That is technology. That is what technology will help this industry achieve.
That is so cool. I love technology. I'm involved on a lot of different fronts, including Roofing Technology Think Tank, and this is exactly what you're talking about here is exactly what I'm hearing, same thing throughout the industry. So as we're talking about this, we're really, it is about the older generation adopting technology, not just to keep up with the younger companies coming in, but just to keep up, period, with society. So maybe you can talk a little bit about that technology adoption within the roofing companies. I mean, it is kind of scary.
Yeah, it's funny. I have this point here at the very beginning is it doesn't have to be scary, but it also is okay for it to be a little scary. And I like to say, embrace the discomfort. Humans don't like change. That is just our nature. That old adage of if it isn't broke, why fix it? So people get stuck in their processes, stuck in their ruts, and just continue on the way that they have been. And that same exact piece applies to the technology forefront. People don't want to embrace a new piece of technology because they're worried about what it's going to mean. Oh my goodness, am I going to have to just stop with all of my jobs while I train my staff and make sure everyone knows how to use it? Am I going to have to be constantly checking to make sure they're understanding it right? It's just going to cause more headaches than it's worth. These are all things we hear consistently with roofers and other contractors and just the industry. But it's really just about embracing a little bit of discomfort and finding what fits you. So, we've talked a lot about the problem here. Let's start talking about the solution. You don't have to change your entire business on day one. In fact, we don't recommend it, and it's not what you should do. What you want to do is start small. Find something that's a right fit for your business and for your size. Maybe find a specific pain point, something that's a little less business interrupted, something that just feels a little bit more comfortable while still being a little causing a little bit discomfort at the same time. So while your company and your staff adopt and embrace the change.
I think that's so smart. So often we think, oh my gosh, it's going to be so hard to do that trial or to try out that software, when really it isn't. And if the software's right, it's not going to be hard. And so I love that is how you're approaching it. But can you talk a little bit about kind of that path for the contractors and for technology development overall? I think that's really important.
Yeah, definitely, Heidi. I'd be happy to kind of, when I'm talking with potential customers or current clients and trying to help them put together a roadmap for the company as you start to improve processes, change some things. Sylvia touched on it, but really you want to start small. You don't need to change everything on day one. Identify a few key pain points. If you're having problems with your estimating, start there. Or if you're having problems, with daily reporting, timesheets, that sort of thing, start where you're seeing, the most friction, and then from there, as you're evaluating different processes or softwares, the word that you want to keep in mind is consolidation. Look for the tools that are going to allow you to take 4 or 5 different things that you're doing in separate places and put those into one place. And that's the entire goal, right? Because ultimately, the goal of technology is to save time. And when we save time, we save money. And that's just what we need to keep our focus on. And as you learn, as you implement, it should always be about how can I save time, get projects done sooner, avoid wasted motion, right? And what I found to help with that change is, identify the people in your company who also want to help with that change. So, find the people who are willing to learn the software, learn the new tools with you, and then, ask for their help as you roll that out to your company. So identify the people who care and want to help, and lean on them, use those as resources. And the other thing, there's always great training and support resources in the tech industry today. Lean on those and learn from those as you implement the changes across your company as well.
That's excellent, Luke. Thank you. I know you have a lot of experience and you've brought all of this together working with the customers. Can you talk a little bit about that? Like maybe the fact that the customers who want to use these types of apps are already using something like it right now?
Right. It's always funny because, with the older generation specifically, they're already using technology. It might not be, in a manner that they recognize, but, if you're emailing from your phone or using online bill pay, or, if you have an Excel spreadsheet that you run your estimating off of, you're doing some form of technology already. So there's, obviously, more efficient ways to use technology, but oftentimes we just need to realize that we've already broken through kind of that barrier. And from there, it's just a matter of, okay, how can we efficiently use this in more places? And really, that's starting slow and building from there is a big part of that, and just focusing on those pain points. And then from there, once you get, a couple of those knocked out, you can then start that expansion once you have the buy-in and everybody on board.
Yeah, and
Perfect.
I have to chime in here, just because in one of our conversations and interviews around this piece in technology, we were chatting with Ken Kelly of Kelly Roofing for around his thought leadership, and it's just this fantastic but simple quote: if you can order from Amazon, you can use technology on the job. I'm pretty sure everyone on the line today, as well as most people, have ordered from Amazon, maybe even this week. So you can use technology. You're already using it, and it's just about embracing it for your business.
Sometimes I am overwhelmed at how much I need my phone, right? Because I travel a lot, and so I have the airlines on there, the hotels on there, the car rentals on there, of course on my texting and my personal and my email. And so you're right. I mean, whatever you're doing in your job, you're using that also you're already using it in your personal life, and then you start using it in your job, and you just don't even realize how much you're depending on it anymore. And I don't think we always see all the different parts of a business that maybe we already are or could be using apps. So maybe Luke and Sylvia, you guys could talk a little bit about what are the tools out there and overall that people are using already?
Right. I think the most important one, when you're kind of thinking about this, where do I start? The centralization of information is huge. And, what that means is, a CRM, a database where you can keep all of your contacts, all your job history into one organized location. So, with that, being able to access that, from anywhere through, different tools that are out there. Your office obviously doesn't just exists in your office in the world we live in today. So the ability to take that office with you wherever you go. You might have done a job for someone 5 years ago and they could send you an email out of the blue that they want you to do another job for them, and being able to have that instant recall is huge. It just creates a great client experience for them. Some other tools we're seeing, there's the next level stuff that's really changing the game. Whether that be aerial image or virtual reality. The world is constantly evolving. The trades are evolving with that, and we're just seeing, the competition increase too as well. So as industry leaders look to provide better service, these are some of the types of things we're seeing. And I know that Sylvia can touch on that a little bit more as well.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting. What we see a lot is when you see the word software, it can be a deterrent to individuals. They can really start immediately thinking of the impact it's going to make their business, and not in a good way, in a adaptation way. How am I going to actually get my employees to adopt this and start using this? When am I going to have time to learn this software? I'm on the job. I'm actually out in front of customers. I'm doing the work every single day. I don't have time to adopt a software. So, try to shake off that image that you have when you see an actual name, but instead really start looking at the individual solution. Find what's right for your business. We're not recommending specific solutions in any of these areas at this moment because there is no one specific solution. Every business is different, and there is going to be a different solution. For instance, there's a lot of different CRMs out there, and there's a lot of great CRMs out there for different types of businesses. So find what's right for your business, and don't be afraid of what it's called, but more so look into it, see what they offer, and then maybe sign up for a trial, try it out. Most of these are offering free trials at this point. Don't be afraid of that. That's exactly what they're there for. Try it out, see if it's a fit for your business. If it's not, totally okay. Move on and find what will be the right impact for your business and your size and your current situation.
That's excellent. I think that's just such good advice, because we know in the roofing industry there is all shapes and sizes. Huge commercial businesses, small commercial, small residential, big regional residential, insurance, everything's out there. So everybody really does need to take the time to look at the right software for their company that fits their needs. And I love that fact that you bring that wisdom of really taking the time to look, to study, and figure out what's right for your business. One of the things that I have noticed and seen working with all of you, plus working in technology and talking to a lot of the thought leaders out there too, is we're starting to see these apps that are specific to a problem. And so you specifically need to rent a car, you have an app to rent a car. That's all it does. It's just very specific. And one of the apps that you've had on the coffee shop recently, I love, and it is a very specific, and it's, even though it's called DefectsPro, what it's all about is punchless. And I would love, Luke, if you could share a little bit, because I think this is a perfect example of an app that really solves a problem, easy to use, and takes care of everything. So if you could maybe kind of share some of that with us, that'd be great.
Yeah, of course. The entire goal of DefectsPro was, we wanted to take what's often a very stressful and tedious process and just simplify that. And how we felt like we could do that is if we created an app where you could, sign up, register your account, and then start using it all within 5 minutes. That was our goal. And we're constantly, taking feedback on not only DefectsPros, but all of our tools to make sure that that's something that's consistent across Trimble. With DefectsPro, like I said, it's a very simple user-based setup. We offer a 1-week free trial for you to test it out, see if this is going to be a fit for you moving forward. We don't charge you on a per project basis. You get an unlimited number of those, an unlimited number of reports. And, it's just fast, easy distribution to whomever you need to get that list out to, whether that be an office staff, a GC, or if you even want to shoot it off to your client, improve that client relationship. We found that lots of good feedback from roofing and just all kinds of contractors who have used DefectsPro for that.
Yeah. I think I need to get that for our house right now.
Right, and it's interesting. Like I believe DefectsPro is a great example of that kind of lines up with a lot of our points in the slides up to this. Up to this slide is, start simple, try something small. Every contractor out there has to have a punch out list at the end of a project and before closing out. And we all want to complete those punch out lists so that we can get paid faster. And if you want to move away from the paper or maybe an Excel spreadsheet that you may be using, why not use something right on your phone? It's a very simple, specific task that it completes for you, and see if that is a type of piece of technology that might make you start feeling a little bit more comfortable around embracing other types of technology and adopting them for your business.
And the thing I like is I bet almost everybody who we know have downloaded an app onto their phone at one time or another. So going to the App Store, finding it, and downloading it, that's kind of going back to you're already doing it. It's not that hard. And then you get a chance to try it out and see what it's about. I think that's awesome. So now we talk a little bit. So that was one of your initial apps that came out that really solved a problem. And now we have Contractor Work Zone coming out. In fact, I do believe it just launched today and is available in the App Store. So I'm really excited to hear about all the great stuff, another app that's going to solve problems for contractors. So Luke and Sylvia, take it away. I'd love to hear everything that's going on with this.
Yeah, we're definitely very excited about this. This is something that we've been working on for a while now. So to get it out and in the hands of our users and customers, we're definitely excited to bring this tool to the market. And something that I really think sets Contractor Workzone apart from a lot of business tools out there is that the original version of this app was designed by a contractor. So this is, the baseline of this is someone that's done the job, that's used this out in the field every day, and knows the pain points. So I think you'll find that the workflows in here are intuitive and very user-friendly from that perspective. Also, it is a mobile app. We do have a web app coming soon that we're working on, but we wanted to focus on the mobile, and that's because that's the world that roofers live in. Everyone is on the go, working from their truck if they're not on the job site going home. So we wanted to give you all the tools you needed to be successful from your phone. You shouldn't have to wait till you get back home or back to the office to get things done. You can do that throughout the day as you go, right from the palm of your hand, and that was our goal. And again, to go back to the 5 minutes, we designed this to, from the moment you download it to finishing setting up your company settings, we want that to take less than 5 minutes.
Wow. We'd love to keep on going about how does that work with the projects? I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so everything is project-based on Contractor Workzone, so the various tasks, whether that be a site instruction or an estimate or a purchase order, everything gets saved to a project so you can quickly see what's going on across the job. To create a project, you would just go to the projects page that you can see here, hit that Create New button, and then from there it's just filling in your project details. You can keep track of your client information through the Client tab. That you can pull that information directly from your device's address book, and then from there everything is going to live in that one location. So everything that's going to go on, you can tie that back to that project. It's super easy friendly, super fast to set up. And like I said, you can do that all from the palm of your hand. You don't have to wait till you get back to the office to load this. You get a job, put it in your phone right there on the spot. Start keeping track of everything that goes on across that project.
And I think that's an important piece that just to reinforce again is mobile first. The fact that we can import contacts, that you can grab everything that's already sitting there on your phone. That was what we had in mind when we were designing this app. We know that contractors, that roofers, that everyone in this industry is sitting on the road all day, every day. So we need to give them a tool that is going to work for their lifestyle, for how they conduct business every day. So that's why we built this mobile first. That's why we really paid attention to the people in the field and what's their pain points. Let's work to solve those by introducing simplified technology to help make their daily lives better.
And to kind of just piggyback, go ahead, Heidi, sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that makes so much sense. And the fact that, that's what I was going to say, the fact that, again, that mobile first, you can put your products in very easily right here.
Exactly. So, from your products list, this is, where you're building out your items catalog, your cost catalog. So you can come in here from the settings menu of Contractor Work Zone and just add whatever products you want to put into your catalog. So you can keep track of it, as you can see here, everything from the supplier to the cost, tax percentage, everything that will flow into that product list. And then you can use that across the app when you're putting together an estimate or a change order or a purchase order. Everything will then be available for you to use from that moment on. And a common question I had when we were testing this was, how long will it take to build out my products list? That can vary for each user, but generally speaking, as you can see here, it is pretty user friendly. It's designed to just be a tap and click. You put that information in, and then it's ready to go and available for everyone in your company to start using from that point on. So while setup might take a little bit of time to get all of our product information in there, we're definitely confident that you're going to see a great return on the invested time that you've spent setting this up by the amount of time you'll save down the road.
Excellent. And then you take all of that and you're standing in front of the homeowner, and wow, tell us a little bit about that.
Right. So, from the already created project, and then again, I just want to, you do get unlimited projects with Contractor Work Zone. So with that, you have your client's contact info already in the app, their project's already set up. You can go visit, their home on site, create that estimate on the spot, get an approval in real time. And where I think this will be especially applicable to the roofing industry is, with the sales process. So you have your sales rep go out to the property. You can get approval right there and on the spot, win your jobs quicker, create an invoice, email this off to whoever needs to get it, and then from there, everything's signed off, ready to go, and no wasted time. So you can win those jobs quicker, get more business faster, and that's really, with that on-site approval for the client, that's really what we were going for with that.
And I know, and Sylvia, you and I talked about this a little bit too, is that when that's being sent to the client, it's all has the contractor's logo on it, the branding, everything is just kind of put together.
Exactly. We have a little preview on the next slide, but that's where the marketing in me starts to sing and get really excited. Because you can see right here we've branded it with the Trimble logo, but how great is it that basically you can customize all of your company information, add your logo, all your contact information, set default notes for opening and closing for either document specific or overall project, and basically, for whatever task you create after that, whenever you'd like to email it off or just save it as a PDF and then send it off in a different way, you have it all branded to your company. You know, it's an important piece for each company, no matter how small, to appear professional. And you know, we tried to make that easy so that no matter what size you are, no matter what level of sophistication you have, you can look professional whenever you're sending off any company documents.
Yeah, and this site diary is pretty cool because, I mean, this really works with whether it's homeowners, you want to share what's happening on the job that day, whether it's a general contractor you might be working with, or, you know, even facility management. This really gives you a nice document at the end of the day for your crew or yourself to email off. Luke, can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right, Heidi, and I'll just go back to what I referenced earlier with the consolidation aspect. And that's really, of all the features, I would say Site Diary is probably the one that, you know, you can see the quickest consolidation of processes with. Because through that, you know, anything and everything that you need to track and report on the job for that particular day can go into this report. You know, save you calls, multiple emails, you put everything into one document, and then it can go out to the necessary parties that need to know that information. And as we can see on the next slide as well, a huge part of the Site Diary feature is going to be the ability to track time. So, you know, you don't have to worry about your employees filling out a paper calendar anymore, losing that, trying to remember what their time was. You know, sending a text message, you have to, when they get to the site, that sort of thing. They can just come in here, enter in their time, you know, put in their break, total time, a note of what they did for that day, and then all of that will feed automatically into your daily report. So this time tracking feature, you know, it's definitely something we want to keep expanding and growing with, you know, how we can use this in the future. But we think that this is definitely a great feature and something that we're excited to roll out and utilize within that Site Diary.
And the all-important change orders.
Right. Which I think, regardless of, you know, if you work in the trades at some point in time, everyone's lost money on a change order, and it's never a great process to go through. But really what we're aiming for with this is, you know, don't let, you know, technology or the lack of technology rather delay your projects. You can document and share this information as it happens in real time. Again, you can get that on-site approval from the necessary party, and then you can streamline that, send that out to whoever you need to, shoot that off to get an invoice, make sure that you can get paid on it, right? So that's what we're going for. You know, like everything in contractor work zone, we want to make this quick, simple, and easy. So you can just put this together, get it signed, shot off to the necessary parties in a couple minutes, and you're just back on the job, working towards that finish line. And then again, just to touch on like what Sylvia said, you know, the ability to customize that is huge with the logo, just a professional looking document.
Yeah, and I'd love to just add in one point here, just anecdotal on a contractor that we had a conversation around, specifically change orders. He estimated he spent 7 to 8 hours a week just driving around, getting signatures on documents for change orders in order to make sure that he got paid. 7 to 8 hours just driving around. Like, imagine if you get that back by having that digitized, by just being able to create it quickly in your phone and send it off on the current job site that you're on, or maybe it's your in your work truck as you're safely parked or stopped somewhere. But you know, that's the type of efficiency we're looking to try to gain with a tool like this, and by just embracing technology in general. Just look at that extra productivity that you gain as a result.
That's perfect. And then you can also keeping track with all the time and the change orders and everything else. It helps you with your employees too. Right.
And you know, it's super easy to get your employees in the app and using it. You know, you set up their permission, whether they're a full user, so like a project manager or an office staff member, like an accountant. You can set, you know, the roles, and then from there, you just can pull in their contact info directly from your devices list again as well, like you can with the homeowner. Shoot off that email invitation, and then they have access to join your company profile. And you can, manage this at any time. So you always have full access to controlling, who has access, and then, if for some reason someone were to leave, it's very easy to take away that access to the company as well. So we've given you control over that, and again, this is something that as the app grows that we're looking to, expanding more features on this as well. But we've tried to make this, like everything else, very user-friendly and simple to set up.
Perfect. Well, you know what, Luke? Can you kind of just bring it all home? Tell us, how this all works and what's included.
Yeah, absolutely. So the big thing is, you can start something, in the field on your iPhone, for example, and then if you need to finish it, later in the day, a couple days later, and you want to just finish it on your iPad, you have that ability to sync up multiple devices. So while you might have one user profile, you can use that on multiple devices and instantly pull up that information. I touched on this a little bit before, but the collaboration, the company profile, having everyone in your company in one place, seeing the same information, being able to collaborate, getting on the same page, that's huge. And that's a really, the whole goal of this, right? So we want to stress that everyone can have that company profile and everyone's set up there, ready to go, set up for success. Along with the cloud syncing and storage, so you don't have to worry about this eating up, memory on your device. Everything saves to the cloud. So you lose your phone, which happens to all of us, right? You don't lose all your data. Everything's fully recoverable. And then also, you might have seen in some of the slides there was a little question mark logo in the left-hand side of the screen on the app. What that is that's going to get you in touch with our customer support department. So if you have a question, you can just tap that icon, and then from there you can instantly link to help videos, support guides, generate an email, or we also have a click-to-call feature where you can give us a call, and you might even get me if you give us a call. So we definitely try to make that easy as well for getting help.
Perfect. Okay. Well, now just real quick, just so everybody knows, it's there today. You can download it on the App Store right now. Anything you want to say, little tricks or anything like that? I know we have another slide just to kind of bring it all together, but just real quick, anything about the App Store?
I think one important piece is just that you can try our app, kind of, reinforcing the important point from before about the fact that most programs offer trials so that you can try it out. You get a free 2-week trial for all functions of our app. If you're a little weary of the technology or worried about, these people keep saying it's really easy. There's no way it's that easy. Give it a try. We built it to be easy, but we want you to test us and challenge us. So give it a try on either app platform in the Apple App Store, Google Play, and then make sure you visit contractorworkzone.com. Where we have a little getting started guide. You have a little getting started video, so you can actually see someone walking through starting their trial and getting their company set up. So you can see that we're not lying about how quick and easy we really tried to build this to be. And then we have a slew of different webinars and tools and guides and things to help teach you all the tools and tricks of the app as well.
And then just something I'll just add real quick to that as well. After that trial period, we don't lock you into a yearly contract or anything like that. Everything's month to month, and then billing will just renew through the App Store on either for your iOS or Android device. So we've definitely tried to make this directly to you. We don't want this to be a long, drawn out. A lot of convincing needed to sign up. We just try to make this very simple and user-friendly. So just, again, everything after that trial period, we don't lock you in any contracts. There's no extra hidden fees. It's just simply what you see is what you get with that.
That's perfect. I have to tell you, Vicki was just raving about the video, how simple it was. She was just really impressed. And in fact, right now, that video is on Facebook, on the Roofers Coffee Shop Facebook. So it's you can check it out, obviously, on the Trimble site. But if you're on Facebook with Roofers Coffee Shop, be sure to watch that video. It's easy. It's right there. And it's also on the directory on the coffee shop too. So lots of different places where you can find it. But I really kind of want to bring it home a little bit, because the whole topic was that younger generation and our older generation that some of us are a part of, and how this is all working. I mean, you really showed how easy it is, but let's just kind of finish a little bit of a conclusion here, bring it all on home, Sylvia, on how the generations meet and everybody's a win-win with this type of technology.
Absolutely, Heidi. So, let's start it off with another stat. Or we can wrap it up with another stat, I should say. 77% of contractors and 65% of owners use mobile technology to complete their construction and engineering projects. So that means that we are starting to touch some technology. I think maybe we hope that this is a little eye-opening for our attendees today to see, well, shoot, maybe I am actually already using technology. Maybe it isn't going to be as hard as I think to embrace it and try to use it in more different ways for our business, and that not all of technology needs to be scary, that we can keep up with what the younger generation is so quick to adopt and use to grow their business. And, everyone can use the same tools. That is the beauty of technology and the way it is growing, is that user interfaces, that experiences, all of that is coming into play where it's not just clunky technology anymore. Technology is being built with the end user in mind, trying to simplify, sometimes it's even just one task or one aspect of their business. Sometimes it's multiple layers and levels of their business. But it's built with the user in mind, meaning it should be easier to try out and adopt. And not only should you be thinking around free trials and testing out different products to find the right fit for your business, but don't be afraid to look at websites and look at support areas. Pretty much every single technology or software or tool or app or whatever we want to call it out there has a slew of resources out on their websites, usually full-on sections. Take advantage of these. Watch a quick video, download some guides. They search on websites. They offer support in different ways. And this is absolutely not specific to our product. This is really in general across all solutions. Use those as a guide because they're there for your help. Don't be afraid to call a support team member for any product that you try out, because technology wants you to embrace it. And you can, we can be more productive as an industry if we really just start small and then grow and really start embracing technology one layer at a time.
I think that's great. Thank you. Thank you, Luke and Sylvia. I mean, great presentation. And I learned a lot. Thank you. And I want to open it up now to questions. So we do have some questions here that have come in, and if any of you in the audience have additional questions, please put them in the chat or the questions box on your webinar panel. And so the first question is, how do you use this with your desktop? So this is coming from people who are, working every day on their PCs, on their desktop and stuff. How does this interrelate with the mobile app?
Yeah, so we are, like I said, working on finalizing the web app version of this. But for right now, all of the documents that we looked at that you can create from within the app can instantly be emailed off. So the field staff could put together that report, instantly shoot it back to the office. Everything's in an organized and compiled manner. So for right now, that it would be the way that the office staff can stay in touch with this. But like I said, we are working on that web app, and don't have an official release date for that, but that's our top priority right now that we're working on getting out, because we do understand the need for that.
Yeah, and we really wanted to focus on that mobile first, and really work to impact people in the field first. We thought that was very critical, and we know that these documents can immediately be sent off or accessed in the cloud, and then from there you'll be able, no matter where you are, you can look up those documents and put them into any system or anything else that you need to help with your electronic keeping.
Perfect. Any tips or points people are asking here on how to? I know you're saying it's easy, but again, they're just curious about training the team and getting them on board, shortening those learning curves, working with the office. Maybe you could talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I think that the important thing is to just start, right? There's never going to be an ideal time to get going on this, but you got to start somewhere. And from there, I would identify, maybe 2 or 3 people in the company. Maybe have an office admin, a field staff admin that would own the technology rollout, whatever you're going to do for your company, and they can own that and help with that. So that would be what I've seen work before, is make this a group effort, get everyone involved and find the people that care and want to help solve this problem with you, and lean on them for help and support.
Or let's get creative and maybe even try to have the person that's slowest to adopt a change help become the champion. Maybe you can sit down with that person one-on-one, the person that tends to struggle most with technology, and walk through them, because if the person that typically struggles all of a sudden becomes a champion to the change, wow, what an impact that can make. So 2 different approaches depending on, what the setup is of your company, but both can be very successful.
Perfect, great, good. Well, we just had a question come in on uploading pictures. How does that work?
Yep. So throughout the different tasks in the app, you're always going to have the option to add photos. So you can take that directly from your camera, or you can use a previously captured photo from your device's library. So you can upload a photo to an estimate or a site diary, purchase order. You have the option to do that throughout the app.
Okay, perfect. And thank you. And okay, I live in Central Oregon. There are places where there is no Wi-Fi and no cell service, which I know is, not normal, but they're still out there. How does that work? Yeah,
so, you can, with the nice thing about using the cloud is what you can do is you can put that information in, and then when you get back to somewhere where you have service, you can turn that sync back on and get that information looped back in.
Perfect. Okay. And then I had another question that just came through that is they just want to confirm, is a 2-week free trial, or how does the free trial work?
Yeah, so it's a 2-week free trial. So, if you started today, that would take you through the 26th, so the day after Christmas. And you don't get, whatever tier you end up choosing based on the number of users, which is how our accounts work. You have full access. So by having the trial, you get full access to everything. There's no features that get unlocked or anything like that. You'll have full access from the minute you start that trial.
And we do have 3 different levels of subscription. All of those are outlined on our website. And I know Luke said this previously, but just reinforcing, it's not an annual cost. You're not like built into an annual contract. It's really for you to decide to continue to use, as well as long as it's applying to your business. So we like to keep that simple and straightforward without any additional random costs or hidden costs that kind of tend to come in and can tend to really drive up a monthly bill from what we've seen. So but we designed this to be simple on all levels for everyone.
That is awesome. All shapes and sizes. It doesn't matter. So
exactly.
That is perfect. Well, I want to thank, that's the end of our questions. I want to thank both of you and the whole team that has supported you to bring this to the roofing industry. It is a great option for business, and I think it's just going to be fun to watch contractors really adopt that technology. So I do have up on the screen right now that Sylvia and Luke's information. So please feel free to email or call Sylvia or Luke, ask them questions, find out more about what's going on, or give feedback. So thank you both very much for being here today.
Thank you so much. No, and really, we take that to heart too. Please feel free to reach out. Like, we built this for you guys, so we want that feedback. We want to use that to continue to improve our product. And small little plug here at the end, we will be out at IRE for any of those that are attending early next year. So come introduce yourself to us.
Yeah, I just appreciate you having us today, Heidi. And like Sylvia said too, we want to be a customer-driven application and product. So try us out, give us your feedback. I promise you we'll listen.
That is excellent. Thank you both. I'm excited. We're going to spend some great time at IRE. The coffee shop will be there too, so it'll be a great time for everybody to see this technology and meet all of you. So I would like to thank everyone who's attended this webinar today. It has been great to learn more about Trimble, and don't forget that there is a lot of information on Roofers Coffee Shop, both in the Trimble directory, with the blogs they're writing. This is just the beginning of some real thought leadership that we're going to see on the coffee shop from Sylvia and Luke and their team, so be sure to check that out. Also, as we mentioned before, this webinar is being recorded, so it will be on our webinars page for anybody to watch or share. I have some exciting news that I want to share at the end of this, is that starting in 2019, we will have a new Roofers Coffee Shop initiative called RLW, Read, Listen, Watch. And Trimble will be a part of that. This, where you're going to be able to read the transcripts, you're going to be able to listen to the podcast, and you're going to be able to watch this webinar, plus their amazing videos that they come out. And so it's all about, for our contractors, to be able to learn when and how you want to. We look forward to sharing lots of information on all those different formats and really offering a one-of-a-kind, on-demand program for all of you. So watch for that. It will be starting in January. It will be in our navigation, and it will be on something really cool. Thank you again. I wish all of you happy holidays, and we will be seeing you all in the new year. Thank you very much.
Thanks.